Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between green hills and silver rivers, there lived a couple who had long wished for a child. They were humble people, gentle, kind, and content, except for one longing that filled their hearts every day: to hear the laughter of a baby in their small, sunlit home. Behind their cottage stood a tall, ivy-covered wall that surrounded a mysterious garden. No one dared to enter it, for it belonged to Mother Gothel, a sorceress of great power and terrible jealousy. She guarded her garden as fiercely as a dragon guards its gold. One spring morning, as the woman leaned from her window, she saw a bed of glowing green plants beyond the wall. Their leaves shimmered with a strange light, and their scent was so fresh that it made her weak with longing. Her husband saw her pale face and asked, "What troubles you, my love?" She whispered, "Those herbs in the garden. They call to me. I must have them, or I fear I shall fall ill." The man, frightened by her distress, climbed the wall under moonlight and gathered a handful of the glowing plants. His wife made a salad from them and ate eagerly. The taste was sweet, almost magical. But the next day, her craving grew stronger. "Please," she begged, "bring me more." When he returned that night, a shadow fell over him. From the darkness, a voice hissed, "How dare you steal from my garden?" It was Mother Gothel. Terrified, the man fell to his knees. "Forgive me. My wife is with child. She longed for your herbs. I meant no harm." Mother Gothel's cold eyes softened for a moment, then narrowed again. "You may have what you stole, but in return, when your child is born, you shall give it to me." And before he could speak, she vanished in a swirl of smoke. When the child was born, she was the most beautiful baby anyone had ever seen. Her hair shimmered like sunlight, golden and soft, and her laughter filled the air like music. True to her word, Mother Gothel appeared, cloaked in shadow, and took the baby away. "I shall call her Rapunzel," she said, "and she will be mine." She built a tall tower deep within an enchanted forest, so high that its top touched the clouds. It had no door, only a single window, and there Rapunzel grew up, hidden from the world. Mother Gothel raised her as her own, pretending it was love, though what she truly loved was Rapunzel's hair, for it held the same magic as the stolen plants, the power to heal and restore youth. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," Mother Gothel would call each day from below. Rapunzel would lower her long golden braid from the window, and Gothel would climb up, pulling herself into the tower. Rapunzel's world was small: books, paintings, the stars above, and songs that echoed through the trees. She longed to see the world beyond her window, especially the strange glowing lights that filled the sky every year on her birthday. "What are those lights, Mother?" she asked once. "Stars that forgot their place," Gothel replied sharply. "They mean nothing to you." But in her heart, Rapunzel knew there was something more, something calling her beyond the forest. One summer evening, far from the tower, a young thief named Flynn Rider raced through the woods, clutching a stolen crown. Two palace guards chased close behind. "Almost there," he muttered, dodging branches and leaping over roots. He spotted the tall tower ahead and smirked. "Perfect hiding place." He climbed the vines, panting, and slipped through the window. The room was quiet, filled with paintings and sunlight. He grinned until a frying pan slammed into his head. When he woke up, he was tied to a chair with an endless coil of golden hair. A young woman with fierce green eyes stood before him, holding the pan like a weapon. "Who are you, and how did you find me?" she demanded. Flynn blinked. "Easy, Blondie, just passing through." Rapunzel frowned. "No one passes through here." She spotted the crown and held it up. "What is this?" A hat. For a very fancy horse." She rolled her eyes. "You're taking me to see the lights." "What?" "The lights that rise every year on my birthday. You'll be my guide, or I'll never untie you." Flynn, realizing he had no choice, sighed. "You drive a hard bargain, sunshine." And with that, Rapunzel stepped outside for the first time in her life. The moment her feet touched the grass, she gasped. The earth felt cool and alive beneath her toes. The breeze rushed through her hair. Butterflies danced in the air. She laughed and spun in circles, shouting with joy. Flynn watched, half amused, half awed. "You really have been locked up forever, haven't you?" "I've never seen anything like this," she said softly, touching a flower. "It's beautiful." As they journeyed through the forest, Rapunzel's wonder never ceased. Birds, streams, rainbows, the smell of thyme. But sometimes fear returned. "Mother will be furious," she whispered. "I shouldn't have left." Flynn smiled. "Maybe it's time you stop asking permission." They camped under the stars that night, and for the first time, Rapunzel saw the world's vastness and her place in it. The next day, they reached a nearby village, bustling with color and life. Children danced in circles. Musicians played flutes and drums. Rapunzel watched in delight as the townsfolk braided flowers into her long hair. When she looked into the lake, she saw her reflection surrounded by lanterns being prepared for release that night. "They're for the lost princess," a woman explained. "The king and queen release them every year in her memory." Rapunzel's heart stirred. "The lost princess," she whispered. As the sun set, she and Flynn took a small boat out onto the water. Lanterns rose all around them, glowing like stars. Rapunzel's eyes filled with tears. "They're not stars, they're for me." Flynn turned to her, realization dawning. "You're the lost princess." But before they could speak further, dark shapes moved on the bridge above. Mother Gothel, enraged, had followed them. Gothel's plan was swift and cruel. She deceived Rapunzel into thinking Flynn had betrayed her, then dragged her back to the tower under a spell of guilt and fear. "You see," Gothel hissed, "the world is cruel. Only I can keep you safe." Back in her room, Rapunzel wept, but something inside her had changed. She began to notice the painted sun symbol she'd drawn all her life, the same symbol she had seen in the kingdom. Memories returned. A mobile over her crib, a lullaby, her real mother's voice. "I am the lost princess," she whispered, trembling. "And you've kept me prisoner." Gothel's eyes burned with fury. "You will never leave me again." Meanwhile, Flynn escaped his captors and raced back through the forest. He climbed the tower, calling her name, but Gothel struck him down with a dagger. Rapunzel screamed and tried to heal him, but Gothel grabbed her by the hair. "You will stay with me, or he dies." Rapunzel's eyes filled with tears. "Then I'll stay. Just let me save him." As she reached for Flynn, he whispered weakly, "No, Rapunzel. You have to be free." With his last strength, he took a shard of glass and cut her hair. The golden strands shimmered and turned brown. The magic vanished. Gothel aged instantly, her youth fading away until she fell into dust. Rapunzel held Flynn in her arms. "Don't go, please." A single tear fell from her cheek onto his wound, and suddenly his body glowed with golden light. He stirred, opening his eyes. "Did I ever tell you I had a thing for brunettes?" He smiled faintly. Rapunzel laughed through her tears, holding him close. Days later, they rode to the kingdom together. The guards gasped when they saw her. The long-lost princess returned. The king and queen ran to her, tears streaming as they embraced their daughter at last. The people rejoiced. Lanterns filled the sky once more, but this time they were not for loss. They were for hope. Rapunzel forgave Mother Gothel in her heart, not out of weakness, but out of strength. She learned that love could heal deeper than magic ever could. Flynn, no longer a thief, became her companion and confidant. Together they opened the palace gates to all, filling the halls with laughter and light. And in the castle garden, Rapunzel planted a single glowing flower. a reminder of the magic that had begun it all. Years passed, but Rapunzel never forgot her days in the tower. She often stood by her window at night, gazing at the stars, free, grateful, alive. Children of the kingdom grew up hearing her story, of the girl whose hair shone like sunlight, and whose courage was brighter still. And every year, when the lanterns rose into the sky, Rapunzel and Flynn would stand hand in hand, smiling up at the golden light drifting across the heavens. For even in darkness, light finds a way. And they lived happily ever after,